Traders, welcome back. It is Monday the 25th. So let's hop into today's market. Let's jump into this JPY first. We have this massive rally due to a lot of risk aversion or risk off sentiment. Last week we did hit the high. Now, we're at this high and we're going to ask ourselves, like, who's going to continue buying at this high? So it is nice that we've seen a little pullback, but let's ask ourselves, where's maybe a little more logical place for this market to pull back? And that 61.8 looks pretty nice. And we know markets like to make deeper retracements. It's hard for them to hold a 23.6, which you kind of already see. Wasn't much consolidation, but we did end up selling off from that high, which was expected. Now we're going to push back down into this 61.8 possibly. Now we just ask ourselves when we get back down here, or if we get back down here, what's going to drive us out of this range? We could take off from this 38.2, we could take off from this 50, we could take off from that 61.8. We could continue to break the low, but this is where we understand what's going on fundamentally and macroeconomically. So we're going to ask ourselves, it could be the China stuff, it could be, fears of the recession that seems to be talked about, which I do not think is imminent. It's maybe in 2020 we'll start to, see a recession. I think it might dwindle down for some time, but once we get going, further into this year and 2020, we're definitely gonna start seeing more signs as well. And you hear about the treasury or the inverted yield curve, like that. Usually, the patterns in the past have given it about a year in advance warning. We got to remember that once it's just not always perfect. There might be different scenarios it's worked out before, but it's just something to pay attention to. Let's jump over into this GBP. We know Theresa May is quitting the cabinet, or she's not quitting, but she is being pushed to resign for someone else to come in and try to push her deal through. Many people in her cabinet are unhappy with how she's been handling Brexit, so they want to get someone else in there. But someone else gets in there, they're most likely going to have the same problem trying to push the deal through. So there's still problems that remain with that. Let's just jump back into that pound. So here we're on this weekly or daily. Jump to that weekly quick. We came off these 17 lows and the 16 lows. We're starting to trend up now. Once we start seeing a more, more like progress, actual true progress with the deal and it being pushed through, we're going to continue to push up. But as of now, we don't have much data. It is possible we could still pull back to these lows. So that's something we're going to be paying attention to. NZD, we do have the interest rates coming out on, I think this will be in the group as well too, but Tuesday. So, we're at these highs. So we got to ask ourselves, they're most likely not going to raise rates. They're most likely going to keep them the same. But if they do bring up, something regarding a rate cut, we could definitely see that sell off because that hasn't been priced into the market. So to me, I feel like that would be a shock to the market. So that's something we will pay attention for. Let's see what else we do have. Got this USD. This is Trump or Powell's comments about the economy and expecting not to have any rate hike this year. Excuse me. We did retrace, and now we are kind of consolidated at these highs. So now we're going to ask ourselves, if we get a break out of here, we most likely are going to come back to this 210 level, and then we're going to take it from there. So fundamentally, we will see how the recession stuff plays out. There's more talk about that and some fear mongering among the market, and then we might see some strength come into that USD. Otherwise, we're at these lows on the Australian dollar, which I feel like this is going to be determined on the China trade talks and if there's actual progress coming into the market. We do have, Trump supposedly sending, Robert Lighthizer and Stephen Mnuchin to Beijing on Thursday. So we are going to be watching that and see how that plays out. Do not get too optimistic about it. Take it piece by piece. Let's jump over into, where's my mouse at? Jump into some of the pairs. Not much really right now on the pairs, but I will always keep you guys posted in the Slack group. So USD JPY, there is a possibility that we could pull back. We did have, jump to that daily, a nice 23.6 kind of break right here below this 111. So, I'm going to be watching for on this, if we do get a pullback into this 111 area, and then maybe enter into this position. But before I enter, I want to make sure, some, volatility starting to pick up, some, fear starting to pick up. It's not something that we wish to happen for the economy, but, this is how we take advantage of these opportunities. Jump into the euro. We haven't done much. London session, we're just kind of made a up move. Really just consolidate in this area. So we're definitely be watching this, but really nothing that I would like to play as of now. Jump into the AUD. This is something I had drawn up last night. We did end up pushing a little higher. We can extend this fib out. So if we come back down, if we come back in anywhere in this range, we start to consolidate some more. It is possible we could see another push out back up into this, 61.8, maybe deeper into this consolidation. But like I said, that's going to be all based on how the China trade talks play out. So that's what we have to be paying attention to. These are the pressing catalysts at hand. These China talks, the Brexit, now the recession stuff, recession talk. That's something we all got to pay attention to. Gold used to drive the Australian dollar, but now it's all this other bullshit. So it's all about what's the pressing catalyst at hand. A lot of this stuff is not relevant. You have 100 economic indicators on here, but that doesn't mean they're all pressing catalysts. So we're always going to pay attention to those ones that are recent, that we know are fueling the market, that are fueling these highs they're making, fueling these lows. So we're going to stay on top of that, which you guys should already know by now. So that's pretty much it for some of these positions, and we could go look at all these, but it's going to be kind of the same thing. I will keep everyone updated if we do see something that aligning with this mean divergence and these highs and lows that we'd like to see being held. So stay tuned. I will I'll push that out to the group if anything, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on today's market.